Going back to the Highland Park shooting, we covered some of the new details that came out yesterday. But what we haven't really taken a look at is, of course, the unhinged takes from psychopathic conspiracy theorists and the right wing. Some of my favorites are, of course, from the likes of Tucker Carlson.
Look at Robert Bobby Crimo. Would you sell a gun to that guy? Does he seem like a nutcase? Of course he does. So why didn't anyone raise an alarm? Well, maybe because he didn't stand out. Maybe because
it's because everyone has like pink hair now and face tattoos. That's why. The real problem is society, but not in the way that you think, because society is at fault, obviously, but because too many people are expressing themselves in unique ways.
Because there are a lot of young men in America who suddenly look and act a lot like this guy.
Famously, only dudes with red hair are doing mass shootings. Famously. Only those guys are the ones who are violent and criminal, and not like just, regular ass white dudes who listen to the Tucker Carlson broadcast. If we were to look at what's wrong with fucking society, if we were to look at like pound for pound, like what is a clear indication, a common uniting factor in the overwhelming majority of mass shootings and school shootings, I'm willing to bet that Tucker Carlson would probably come up a non-insignificant amount of times, okay? A significant amount of times Tucker Carlson and his ideology will come up. I can name El Paso and Buffalo. Immediately comes to mind. Tucker Carlson's great replacement theory that he has normalized and has publicized time and time again in the most popular broadcast, Synagogue Shooter 2. Interesting.
Like Crimo, they inhabit a solitary fantasy world of social media, porn, and video games. They're high on government-endorsed weed. Smoke some more. It's good for you. They're numbed by the endless psychotropic drugs that are handed out at every school in the country by crackpots posing as counselors. And of course, they're angry. They know that their lives will not be better than their parents.
That's awesome. Video games, pornography, weed. That's great. That's the problem. Dude, this is why social conservatives will always get fucking owned in the end, okay?
They'll be worse. That's all but guaranteed. They know that. They're not that stupid. And yet the authorities in their lives, mostly women, never stops lecturing them about their so-called privilege. You're male, you're privileged. Imagine that. Try to imagine an unhealthier, unhappier life than that. So a lot of young men in America are going nuts. Are you surprised? And by the way, a shockingly large number of them have been prescribed psychiatric.
Bro, this is awesome. Overwhelming majority, with the exception of like one or two fucking mass shootings throughout the history of mass shootings, is committed by men, specifically white men. Women are responsible for this. Tucker Carlson's like, nah, hold up. I mean, this is the inverse of like what liberals do all the time, which is like, women don't do mass shootings. You know what I mean? This is literally the exact opposite side of that same dumbass argument that they like shit on all the time. This is so funny, dude. I love this.
So a lot of young men in America are going nuts. Are you surprised? And by the way, a shockingly large number of them have been prescribed psychotropic drugs by their doctors, SSRIs or antidepressants. And that would include quite a few mass shooters. And keep it.
Most fucked up part of me is how he's basically validating all the 4chaners. Yeah, it's such a funny thing. It's like when conservatives do that thing where they're like, oh, the Confederates, the racist demon rat party, right? But then they also are wearing like Confederate gear while simultaneously shitting on like the racist Democrats or whatever. It's like, bro, you're literally saying that like, it's not the men that are at fault here. It's the women, and it's the video game and porn. And it's like, but this dude came from a space where like the incels unironically believe that as well. Like you're creating more shooters like this while simultaneously talking about it. Like while simultaneously vilifying one of your fucking stands, or the attitude that your stands have. You're vilifying your stands while normalizing their background.
They're pushing for answers and accountability. These are the eyes of some of the mass killers who've reportedly been regular pot users.
Stop. Oh my God. No way, dude. This is what? Are they doing the pot caused this thing? Like they're doing, like weed is the reason? Bro, what? Dude, they ran out of ideas. They gotta find something. Reefer Madness is back. It's back. Everything old becomes new again, dude.
Look at them. Those in politics and in the media who devote their time and energy to fear-mongering on fake issues while covering up the truth about the growing
Bro, they're like, we need to ban pot. Even though it's still illegal at the federal level. We need to ban pot more. Okay, we need to ban weed more. Not the guns, though. Not the guns. I mean, not to be like a fucking shitty, like, early 2000s era comic, but, like, have you seen a high person, motherfucker? There ain't no way they're getting off the fucking couch, let alone conduct a mass shooting. What do you mean, dude? What the fuck? What?
Scourge of violent psychosis in our young people. They have to be called out. They have to be defeated. And then the public has to be educated. And parents, this means you need to get into the game. This means you understanding that this can happen to you, to your family, no matter how wealthy you are.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Conservatives who like to smoke weed, this is your turning moment, I hope. I hope you use the energy right now to immediately change your ways. Because understand that they're coming for your pot, they're coming for your video games, and they're coming for your pornography. Because they're run out of options. They have no other thing to blame, so they're going to blame the shit that you like. Life is already fucking terrible as it is. And the one moment of solace and comfort that you get from these sorts of things to consume, they're going to take that away from you. They don't want you to have fun.
How well adjusted you are, how mature and together your children seem. It's time to call out the phonies and call in the warriors for common sense. And that's the angle. We're pushing for answers.
We're unironically one step removed now from blaming masturbation, by the way. But hey, listen, it doesn't stop with Laura Ingraham. Everyone's got some fucking theories. We're going to get to Ben Shapiro now and see what his reasonable theories are on this issue. And then we're going to get to some less reasonable theories from the likes of, sitting congresspersons.
As though every blemish on the body politic, every wound is not just a scratch or a scrape on an underlying healthy body. I'll be back. Instead, they're all symptomatic of something that can kill us, which is an underlying conflict. So here on this show, because we actually still believe in unity over things like evil people are evil and we shouldn't give them the time of day, we don't mention the names of mass shooters. The entire media not only mentions the names of mass shooters, we show their faces. Every other media outlet I know of, every other major media outlet I know of, reports the names, the agendas, the manifestos, everything they can about these mass shooters, which of course drives other mass shooters to want to get famous and then do it again. And then the media, oh, why is this happening? Must be the guns. Well, maybe you guys ought to take a look in the mirror sometime. So I report to you only the things that I think are necessary for you to understand the story. I don't think the name of these mass shooters is a thing that is necessary to understand the story. I don't want them to be famous.
Unless they're black, in which case I will do that. And I will talk about their background endlessly and relentlessly.
However, every time there is a terror attack involving a black nationalist, involving a black Hebrew Israelite, involving a black racist, all of that sort of stuff just goes away. It is just memory hold. And we now have that ugly specter with regard to the New York subway shooting. However, we do have to talk about his views, because the simple fact is that the media in this country memory hole anything that does not comport with their view of the universe, which is why you don't know the name of the person, the black nationalist in Waukesha who ran somebody over, but you know Kyle Rittenhouse's name. Right? This is just the way that it works in the media. And what that means is that bad and ugly philosophies are not only allowed to thrive, they're basically ignored. And if you pay attention to them, then you are called a racist. So if you pay attention to both, if you say white nationalism and white supremacy, evil, black nationalism and black supremacy, evil, if you say all of that, this makes you a racist in some way.
Unless they're black or Muslim, in which case I will literally only talk about that and then blame the media for not talking about it and talk about their hypocrisy.
I want them to be obscure and rot in hell where they belong as a general rule. To pretend that this person is not a crazy person is to ignore the evidence of your own eyes. This person posted evidence on social media of how crazy he is. Here is, for example, we're going to show you an extremely creepy video of this person. Okay, this is a creepy video of this person.
Wait, didn't he just say is he violating his own rule? Like, why is he violating his own rule?
Simulating a mass shooting in a school. This is an insane person. I don't know. There's no better catch-all term for this. I don't know what form of mental illness this person suffers from. This is not a sane and normal human being. I know we also shy away from the word normal in today's society. Normal meaning statistically normal. This is not a statistically normal human being. There is a normal. This person is not it. Which means that any attempt to politicize this is ridiculous. But here is a video of this person that we're supposed to...
No, it's not. Because he still used the fucking gun, dog. So... it becomes a political issue at that point. You say don't politicize this, and then you say he's mentally ill. Okay, well then let's do fucking adequate funding for mental health treatment. No, we can't do that. Okay, you say don't politicize this, and then we say that he had a fucking gun and he should not have access to a weapon. You say, no, that's not happening. The shooter quite literally mentioned Ben Shapiro in a song, by the way. So maybe that's the reason why he doesn't want the fucking to talk about the background of the shooter.
ignore on behalf of the idea that this person was a Trump supporter. This is something they tried to pitch last night. I don't like this sort of stuff at all. Again,
Yeah, that's why he doesn't want the background. He's like, I don't like this stuff. He's not a Trump supporter. He's doing the actually sweaty, not all Trump supporters that liberals love doing. He's literally, God, everyone is a liberal. Everyone in America is a liberal. We are all united by our liberalism. We can only be judged by our proximity to liberalism. That's the defining ideology, okay? The same level of hysterics and the same level of fucking, we really shouldn't normalize the notion that like Trump supporters are violent. He's pissed because people are adequately pointing out that and accurately pointing out that the dude had more, despite like being a mishmash of different ideologies, he had a closer approach to Trumpism than anything else. Now, is that the reason why he did this mass shooting? I don't know. I can't say. Looking at everything that he has posted so far, I don't think that was the main guiding factor. I think that the Trumpism came from the circles that he was involved in on the internet, these like incredibly socially isolated people. Because like it's not like he went and tried to shoot up a mosque because he was terrified that the Islamic scourge was taking over Canada, like the Quebec shooter. That one you can point a direct line to Ben Shapiro. He was terminally online. And those terminally online spaces, oftentimes, as you all already know, certainly have a alt-right tinge to it. Are we a terminally online community? Yes. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. One of my main leading principles is one of the main reasons why I'm doing this is to serve you top of the hour ad breaks and nothing else, really. Get baited, get fucked. Like I said, one of the main reasons why I do what I do is because I understand that the extremely online spaces oftentimes radicalize people in the wrong way. I would like to show you and make an argument for what you should actually be angry at. Because I understand why you feel isolated and angry. I want to create a space that is positive, though, in all of that darkness that you can find on the internet. And that goes for you, too. If you're a conservative adjacent, I believe that you do have the capacity to change your mind. And I will not hold your past idiotic statements against you. There are plenty of people we've banned and unbanned after them coming in here as hate watchers and saying dumb shit, getting banned immediately, and then 2 years later being unbanned because they're like, yeah, I was banned, and I still kept watching, and now I don't believe in any of the things I said in the past. Let's continue.
Bernie Sanders, when a Bernie Sanders supporting crazy person shoots up Congress people at a baseball game. I don't blame Barack Obama when a Black Lives Matter supporting crazy person shoots up Dallas police officers. And I don't blame Donald Trump.
Wait, but he did. That's a lie. He absolutely did that. He straight up did that. I remember specifically during the Dallas, in the aftermath of the Dallas police shootings under the Obama administration, and literally was like, I'm not going to point to the Black Lives Matter as an ideology for why these police were killed, but I'm totally going to do that. You know what I mean? He does that thing all the time. Is Barack Obama responsible for the Dallas anti-terror attack? Obama didn't cause the Orlando shooting attack, but his failure to label it as Islamic jihadism surely stopped America from fighting it properly. Obama didn't cause the Dallas shootings, but his attempts to turn the conversation towards gun control and police brutality are just another way to avoid a real conversation about anti-white racism. So no, of course, Obama isn't responsible for the Dallas shootings, but he's surely responsible for cultivating a racially polarized culture, ignoring the causes of anti-cop violence, and leaving cops out in the cold to fend for themselves. I'm not going to say Obama caused it, but Obama caused it. He said anti-white racism. It's better than I thought. It's better than I remember. There was another quote, though. It's not even this one. Oh, under this one. Yeah. If Trump is somehow responsible for the Whitmer terror attempt, then Bernie is responsible for the congressional baseball shooting, and Obama is responsible for the Dallas police massacre. This is a stupid and dangerous game. But also, Obama is responsible, but like not in the way that you think he is, but he kind of is. Man, it's a good thing Ben isn't the kind of flagrantly dishonest jackass who would have blamed Bernie Sanders for the Scalise shooting and then deleted that tweet just so we could make this patently hypothetical bullshit argument. Tell me again how Bernie Sanders never said anything that could have inspired this nutcase volunteer to try mass murdering Republicans. That's crazy. I guess he doesn't believe it. Also, Ben constantly brings up that he doesn't blame Bernie. He only brings that up when he's talking about how he's not responsible for like the Quebec mosque shooting.
When a crazy person who believes that they're a Donald Trump fan goes and does math. But in this case, there's not even evidence that the person was super political in any way. The person apparently...
What do you mean, dog? He literally had fucking photos of him draped. He went to like right-wing rallies. There's photos of him standing under a Blue Lives Matter flag. He went to the fucking motorcade and filmed Trump's motorcade. He has a photo of himself draped in a Trump flag. Come on.
Apparently had postings from the left. The person apparently had postings from the right.
No, he didn't.
It doesn't matter.
No, people keep saying like, bro. People keep saying like he had postings on the left. Like, no, there is no like discernible, tangible thing that he had posted that was like from the left. You're just fucking saying that because aesthetically he looks like, like what you have portrayed Antifa to look like. Okay, that's it.
Matter. The person's crazy. Okay, so here is the actual video of the person. Is a crazy person. Is a person reaching into a bag for a gun, okay, and then walking through and simulating with Joker laughter a mass shooting at a school and simulating getting shot by the cops. Okay, it's extremely creepy stuff. This is creepy stuff. This is a crazy person. Okay, this is an insane person who wants attention. And the media will give him as much attention as he could possibly want. They'll mention his name over and over. They'll plaster his face, which is a crazy person. I'm going to say it again.
Well, technically Ben's doing that too, but
This person is mentally ill. It is obvious this person is mentally ill. To pretend otherwise is ridiculous. There must have been red flags galore. So the big failure here, if we're going to...
Yeah, the big failure, of course, is not the Illinois State Police refusing to offer this person a license to purchase weapons, but the big red flags were ignored by, what, his family, women that didn't want to fuck him, I guess, or whatever the fuck, like Tucker Carlson is saying. This person is mentally ill. Okay, Ben, should he have a gun?
talk about bipartisan failure, where are the people around this person reporting them to the police? Apparently, this person was known to the police. We now know that. This person...
Wait, it's the family member's fault? I mean, yeah, sure. At a certain point, he's got to fucking criticize the police, right? Like, at a certain point, he's got to say, like, the regulation failed because the people refused to implement the proper protocols.
Performed as a rapper and whose recent music videos included depictions of mass murder. Apparently, the father had described this person as having emotional issues. And again, WGN is reporting this person was known to police. So, immediately, this breaks down into person was a Trump supporter. The evidence that this person was a Trump supporter, supposedly, is that this person took a video of themselves at some sort of Trump rally. And at the Trump rally, the person is wearing a Where's Waldo outfit. So, is the person...
Will he mention that he has a photo of himself draped in a Trump flag? Will he mention that? I mean, I don't know.
Just a troll or a joker? It seems so. Because this is what crazy online people do. He's wearing Where's Waldo outfit, and so the entire left went Trump supporter. Well, that means that Trump's bad and the right is bad, and therefore we can blame our neighbor for the...
Wait. Ben is aware of this man's body of work, so he must be aware that Ben Shapiro was literally name dropped, right?
Evil of an insane person. That's a symptom of a country that's breaking down. When your first move is, how do I blame my fellow American for this sort of stuff? And again, every one of these stories breaks down this way. So this is why, for the left, this immediately breaks down into talk over gun control. Because on gun control, you can blame your neighbor for something.
Wait, come on. He's not going to talk about how he was draped in the... Really? Ben's like, oh, this guy went to a Trump rally, but like, who knows? He was in a Where's Waldo outfit. He didn't have... He's saying this dude's a fake Trump fan. Come on, Ben. You're going to talk about his fucking bona fides? You're going to talk about how he wasn't a Trump... Dude, come the fuck on. By the way, there's motherfuckers that are in that. I know exactly what community that dude is from and what kind of fucking the Where's Waldo shit and like what he's doing there. And there's some of you motherfuckers in here right now. I know you can and should get better. I promise. There are so many fucking Facebook memes about Bobby Cremo being Antifa or whatever the fuck, right? Except this isn't real. This tattoo is not real. He doesn't have that tattoo. They're saying that Cremo's account had like the Antifa flag or something. Is bullshit. And what is real is that he did have a video of the Trump convoy where you can hear him cheering. You also have him once again draped in fucking in a Trump flag. I'll show you that too. Things that Ben won't show you. Now, you can make the argument that like none of this, it's not like the MAGA ideology that caused him to become a mass shooter. You can have, you can make that argument. But you can't say he wasn't like in any way closer to being a Trumper than anything else. The idea that like he's Antifa is just simply misinformation. But the idea that he is a Trump supporter is not that far removed from reality. But Ben won't show you that. Here he is with a Trump flag. Here he is right there at a Blue Lives Matter protest under the Blue Lives Matter flag. Here he is at another Trump rally. He's also filmed the Trump motorcade. It has not stopped conservatives from just lying about the shooter's background and Ben refusing to engage with the actual evidence. No, you don't understand, bro. He was ironically at the Trump rally, dude. Here's the song.
Bring the fire and the truth, yo. Rack and reload, tax the cheat codes. We don't need drugs, we are high on the beat, bro. I went 0 to hero, y'all been like Shapiro. Zombies all around me like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
There you go. He must have been going to all of those places to infiltrate because he just despises Donald Trump. He doesn't have a shadow in the photo. Yeah, no, but neither did all those other people. Why didn't Ben mention any of that, I wonder?
Law-abiding citizen who owns a long gun is responsible for a school shooting. So Joe Biden immediately released a statement, of course, calling for more gun control because he is a hammer in search of a nail when it comes to gun control.
Bro, what the fuck? Ben, you just said he's mentally ill. What do you think that means? Unless your argument right now, unironically, is like, no, mentally ill people should have access to even more guns than they do, then why do you have an issue with this? Yes, gun control failed in this circumstance, and there should be better gun control.
The statement says, Jill and I are shocked by the senseless gun violence that has yet again brought grief to an American community on this Independence Day. I recently signed the first major bipartisan gun reform legislation in almost 30 years into law, which includes actions that will save lives. But there's much more work to do, and I'm not going to give up fighting the epidemic of gun violence. Again, he only releases statements like this when a bunch of white people get shot, or unless a white supremacist shoots a bunch of black people. That is the only time that Joe Biden ever sounds off on issues like this. Meanwhile, the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, he says it's time to talk gun control. Because it's always time to talk gun control. Is it a day ending in Y? Time to talk gun control. Let's do it.
I'm furious that children and their families...
Yeah, it's so fucked up to talk about gun control. What does Ben want to talk about in this situation? Like, what is the nail? What will solve this problem? Because, like, it kind of seems like he just wants to exclusively talk about not covering the background of the shooter. That's all he's done so far is like, don't talk about the background of the shooter. Also, here's a music video. Also, he's mentally ill. Also, the police knew about him. But also, don't do gun control. What do you mean? What is the... How do we solve this then?
Have been traumatized. I'm furious that this is happening in communities all across Illinois and America. I'm furious because it does not have to be this way. And yet we as a nation...
It's so weird, bro. If a fucking levee fails during a hurricane or some shit, and a politician comes out and says, hey, man, we have to fucking fix these levees. Ben Shapiro's like, no, actually, this is not time to politicize this problem. Why would you talk about the dams and the levees? That's why this happened. It flooded a fucking neighborhood. No, sorry, we can't do it. And by the way, that's a hurricane. This is guns. You don't have to have a gun.
Well, there are going to be people who say that today is not the day, that now is not the time to talk about guns. I'm telling you, there is no better day and no better time than right here and right now.
Really? There's no better day and no better time to talk about it than, like, immediately while the bodies are still...
Dude, what do you mean? What do you mean, Ben? In the United States of America, mass shootings are so commonplace that, like, there is no fucking off season. I can't believe this blammo is still unironically doing that classic old-ass argument of, like, let's not talk about it right now. Let's not politicize this tragedy. Bro, we know there is no other time to talk about it because it happens every day. And you know that, and I know that, and I know that you are literally fucking using that don't politicize the tragedy immediately after the tragedy argument, specifically because you know there's another tragedy twice a day.
In the streets, that's like the very best time of all the times to talk about this sort of stuff is the time to talk about gun control. By the way, Illinois has extraordinarily heavy gun control laws.
Which failed. They failed. Time to strengthen them.
Chicago has extremely, extremely heavy gun control laws. Tammy Duckworth, the senator from Illinois, she's doing the same thing. She's talking about how we have to get rid of assault weapons.
I was just on the phone.
Like, what's Ben's solution? That's crazy. Ben's solution, unironically, is just don't talk about it. It's better to just, like, avoid thinking about these things and just continue on, move on with your life, just live through it, you know, learn to dodge better, I guess. But such is the way of conservatism. And that's another reason why I get so fucking mad when dumbasses like, Hasan, you're a grifter, Hasan, you're a grifter. You know how easy it is to be a conservative grifter? Look, Ben covered this issue for 10 minutes. And literally all he said was just don't think about it, dude. Don't think about it. That's all he did. That's how fucking simple it is, dude. No need to, like, examine structural conditions. No need to examine the underlying material realities, isolation whatsoever. Don't politicize this. Don't think about it. Move on with your life. Learn how to dodge bullets.
We have to do more to keep our communities safe. We have to get rid of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and so many other additional common sense reforms that wide majorities of Americans are crying out for.
Okay, there's a blemish on the body politic, graver cancer in the body politic. Gun rights are bad. State differentiation on the basis of gun rights are bad. Remember, she's a federal.
Oh, state differentiation on the basis of gun rights are bad? What do you mean? The Supreme Court that you defend unironically just decided that state differentiation on gun laws, on meaningful legislation to prevent people from getting guns, only goes as far as whatever the Supreme Court decided is reasonable.
Federal official. She's a senator. At least Pritzker's a governor. She's a senator.
Again, though, 9 minutes and 38 seconds so far, and not a single solution has been presented.
She doesn't make domestic Illinois law. And she's a federal senator. The same left will call for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's very bad. Right? Doesn't matter. There's a right to keep and bear arms in the Constitution of the United States, which was designed to prevent the federal government from getting involved in these issues. The left wants the federal government. Joe Biden wants to be involved in these issues. That is no longer a principle that we hold in common.
Ben had no solutions, which is boring and lame. Let's talk about something that's not boring and lame. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now that I've shown you the reasonable conservatives and what their takes were, or their lack of takes, as a matter of fact, let's look at some of the less reasonable conservatives and what they had to say. At least it's entertaining. Come on. Trigger warning, Marjorie Titan Greene.
Now, here's what I have to say. I mean, 2 shootings on July 4th, one in a rich white neighborhood and the other at a fireworks display. It almost sounds like it's designed to persuade Republicans to go along with more gun control. I mean, after all, remember, we didn't see that happen at all the pride parades in the month of June, but as
It's a psyop, folks. I am a seated, elected representative in the House of Representatives, and I'm telling you, it sounds like a psyop to me. Hey, the statistical likelihood of a mass shooting happening at fucking 4th of July is the same as it happening on the 5th of July, dumbass. Maybe that's why it happened on the 4th of July, too.
As soon as we hit MAGA month, as soon as we hit the month that we're all celebrating, loving our
Wait, July is MAGA month?
country, we have shootings on July 4th. I mean,
This dumbass literally thought that the Photoshop photo of the fucking shooter was real, okay? It's over. You're done. Pack your bags. Nope. Not taking you seriously. I mean, I never have, but goddamn, dude, come on.
that's, that would sound like a conspiracy theory, right? Of course. But what's the definition of a right-wing conspiracy theory? Well, by the way, it's the news that's just 6 months early.
I love that. Before we get to Uvalde, sorry, I do want to cover one more unhinged take from the GOAT, Scott Adams. Now, friends of the show, fans of the show know I talk about Scott Adams every now and then. He is like consistently posting about how hard he gets owned regularly. But this is one of those where it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, why did you post this? The Highland shooting and every fentanyl overdose death among the young are teaching us the same lesson, and we refuse to learn it. It's difficult, but I'm qualified to give you this lesson, unfortunately. This won't be an easy read. This is about to be really fucked up. So buckle in. When a young male, let's say 14 to 19, is a danger to himself and others, society gives the supporting family 2 options. 1, watch people die. 2, kill your own son. Those are your only options. Are they? I chose 1 and watched my stepson die. I was relieved he took no one else with him. Bro. Scott Adams thinks he's fucking Spartan. Motherfucker, you draw Dilbert comics. You're not tossing your fucking son off of a cave because, this one didn't take off of a fucking hill. What is this? Why? This is the opposite of being the father that stepped up. Scott Adams is definitely just the stepfather and not the father that stepped up. If you think there's a third choice in which your wisdom and tough love along with government services fixes that broken young man, you're living in a delusion. There are no other options. You have to either murder your own son or watch him die and maybe kill others. Bro, this dude definitely should not have a gun, okay? I really hope he doesn't have a gun. Oh, no. This is so unhinged. If one more person hallucinates to me about some program where teens are kidnapped and fixed and returned to their happy parents, I might explode. Uh-oh. Don't let him explode. No such thing exists. You have 2 options. Only 2. No help is coming. Only death and suffering. You are probably twisting in your seat and you want me to tell you your good ideas about how there are really services out there you haven't been there. Someone writes, maybe before executing your forced A-B choice, a parent should refrain from signing off on an Illinois firearm owner ID for their 19-year-old son. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know anymore. He says parents in that situation are playing to save the current day. Listen, you don't understand. My fucking son, who tried to kill me, has to have a gun. I'm saving the day by getting him a medical gun. You don't get it. You don't get it. He has to have a gun. It's medicinal. On that day, doing what he demanded, no matter how sketchy, pushed off the problem another day. Yeah, you needed to get him an emotional service weapon, dude. What the fuck? Silly jackass doesn't even know. This is a broken person. America broke him. Dude, yeah, broken person is right. There's no better way to describe Dilbert creator Scott Adams than a broken person. Watching my son suffocate on his own vomit in front of me as I hold a vial of Narcan, a tear streaming down my face. At least he wasn't a mass shooter. Wait, he said... Bro, what? Yo, what the fuck? Dude, this is... Bro, what about Scott Adams' dad? Like, because he's clearly mentally unwell. Should Scott Adams' dad just come in and murder him before he just explodes, as he said? Is that how this works?